What's up, guys? It's me, Vitamin D, and today we're going to be taking a look at the 1987 Bronco 2 right over here. It's running on 17-inch fuel rims, mounted with Nitto Terra Grappler 34-inch tires. There's also a spare on the back, so that's where things got spendy on this truck. Here at the back, you can see I custom mounted the tire. The original truck came with a tire mount, but the original tire was about the size of this inner rim here, so they got a bit bigger. I had just built this drop bumper within the last month here. My truck was actually at an illegal height, I guess. I was pulled over one night, and the officer said he would give me up to 3 years in jail because of my bumper height. I understand you don't want people going under your car and getting squished, but bumper height? 3 nights in jail? A little excessive. As you can see on the outside here, this is actually I went to auto body school at Hennepin Tech, so I went and picked out my own color. We sanded this down. This truck was a bluer gray, and it had this very light blue stripe along the body line there, but we took that all off. We sanded it down all the way to metal. And then I had it sprayed by a family friend. I wonder if you can pick up that sparkle there on the camera. It's got a lot of metal flake in it. So, had that sprayed, put the whole thing back together. It's been apart several times. Here we have some old school Hella fog lights out front, floodlights, whatever you want to call them. We've got some HID, not halo headlights, but they are the bright whites, which actually do not do very well on the out at nighttime. So we're gonna have to look into getting rid of those. The truck is lifted quite a bit. It has some Baja racing lights I custom mounted up on the roof there on one of the old roof rack pieces. I do have a roof basket, goes behind the lights all the way to the back of the truck there, and that is off right now. I took that off when I brought the truck in the garage. It doesn't fit with it on, so went through that. Let's take a look at the interior. So super simple. Somebody, these aren't the original mirrors, I don't believe. Somebody mounted F-150 mirrors on here, but I think they look just perfectly all right on this truck. The one side, this one again. The interior was perfect when I got this truck, but I'm an idiot, so I ruined it. I had a screwdriver in my pocket and broke that, so that's all ripped up. We gotta get that repaired, or even changed out maybe. Yeah, funky little fold-down back seat back here, like most Bronco 2s, jumper cables, because this thing had a bad battery and liked to die a lot. So let's try and get up in here. What's up, guys? It's me, Vitamin D, and today we're going to be taking a look at the 1987 Bronco 2 right over here. Alright, so some of the first things we're going to look at is, obviously this truck is not stock by any means. It has a 4-inch suspension lift by Rough Country. It has a 3-inch body lift by Performance Accessories, I think that's the name there. I covered it all up, you can't really tell. So as you can see, it's a bit of a pain in the ass to get in this thing. I actually just custom built this. I'll open this up. As you can see in here, these are my old tire spacers that stuck my tires way out. I bolted them together, used red Loctite, cut an extra hole down here in the old rack, and then stuck the tire on. I took 3 of these because the difference in the width of the back of the tire. God, this thing gets packed with mud. Look at that. Ugh. But so this is the back of the truck. The 3-inch body lift did a little bit of difference here. It left this big gap, so we filled that in a little bit. This is unlocked, if it's not, I need my keys. Go back to Get the keys. Get it into your S7. Alright, we're back with the keys. Lock this. This in here is a chest my grandpa actually built for me. It's cut out, so it actually fits perfectly in here. This is my amp for my speakers. I have an amp for the subs under the seat. Actually, the speakers should go back to that amp, and the subwoofer wire should come here. I think I'm gonna stick a sub back in for winter. Got some Black Magic speakers over here. I got them with Scotch covers just because I didn't have any that weren't cracked into bazillion pieces. So that's done. There's quite a bit of space back here in these huge windows. Super expensive if you break one, but really cool. Good for visibility. The back seats fold down. This is all flat area. I can throw my camping gear in here and stuff. I plan on doing a lot of that next summer, but as of right now, it's fairly cold, and lakes are freezing, things like that. Not fun to stay outside. So that is the back of the Bronco. It's fairly simple. I'll give you a peek in here. I've got in these cases, I have knives, special utility things, lantern, I got frying pans. This is my huge tent. It's a 6-person tent. I've got propane tanks for lighting burners, a propane burner for cooking out when we're out and about. When I go to parties and such, we pop this thing open, we'll set up the little burner, and we'll cook hot dogs actually over the flame. So that's pretty fun, but there's a lot to come with this. Got to close this up, and this one's kind of a pain in the ass, so I'm going to set you down for a minute. First try. I want to show you this one little extra here too. The tire was bouncing quite a bit because obviously I have to fix the bumpers here that used to be there, so my dad snuck a little tennis ball in here and it helps with the bounce just a little bit. I am a little worried about the actual hangers, or where they're both body popping out. They're ripping the steel. I think we'll be good. So is the fuel tire, and I'll get a shot that shows height difference here a little bit to show how big this guy really is. But here's the back. Like I said, these windows are super expensive to fix. People probably think I'm crazy. I'm from somewhere where this would be weird to be taking a picture of your truck. I do have a step up on this side for my girlfriend. It's a little high for her, but we'll be fixing that, modifying that, making that so it's a little easier for her to get in, because it's ridiculous, and right now it just catches mud. That might have been the popping noise I heard earlier. But yeah, so 4-inch suspension, 3-inch body, F-150 mirrors. Up on the roof here we have Baja racing lights. I do have a rack that goes up there for hauling other supplies. My tent goes up there once in a while, things like that. Boxes. And then here we've got a push bar. I've repainted this several times. It keeps rusting through. I grinded down the metal, but must not be sticking the right amount of coating on it. And the winter up here is brutal. That's been driving through the weeds earlier. Oops. It's got a Warn winch. It's one of the most heavy-duty Warn winches you can buy. I don't remember the number right now, but it's insane. But it's not working at the moment, so we gotta get that running. These tow hooks I've bent off. Actually, when I was 16, I hit a girl in a, I guess her car was parked on the side of the road, but I went around a corner and the truck broke loose in the rear end, and I went right up on her hood. Literally on the hood, I had to back off, but the only damage was this hook right here bent just a little bit, but her car was, the front bumper was snapped in half. It was pretty brutal. But I'll show you a height difference here in a minute. The GoPro, if you can see it blinking in there. I was trying to get some footage. I don't know if I'll use it or not, but it's good. So let me get the tripod out, and I'll show you the difference here. No, I'll stick that in at the end. So inside here, pretty plain panels. This one is blue. The driver or the passenger side is black. I actually bedlined it, and it holds dust like crazy. So I really want to redo that. I kind of like the old blue interior actually. This seat has seat covers on it because this seat right here is ripped. The other one's perfectly fine. I jumped up in here with a screwdriver in my pocket one day and it ripped and just won't stop. So cover that up till I can fix it. I got a aftermarket center console here that's full of shit. Obviously, there's my backpack. The passenger seat's perfect. Like I said, the door's black. I gotta throw a panel back on down there. It's a little sunny. Very sunny. Extremely sunny. My computer's hanging out. It is a 4-speed with overdrive or a 5-speed. Here's my manual 4-wheel lock. These buttons all used to be hooked up at one point, and they will be again. This is my fog lights right now. This used to be roof lights. And I had lights on the inside for the base. I have all kinds of stuff. It's a really cool truck in high school, but I gotta get back to making it nice again. So this is a CB radio I had in here. I'll probably be taking that out and sticking the ashtray back in, just because I like it that way. I actually cut the frame of the dash to fit this giant Pioneer double-din radio. I am like on my tippy toes trying to show this right now. That's how big the truck is. But I stuck a mirror in here from my buddy's Intrigue that his engine water locked a long time ago. One of the coolest parts I think of the interior is what I did. I relined the roof, and I don't know how you can tell, but it's furry. It's I call it Arabian pubes, but super soft, really silky material, and that was fun to do. I'm gonna have to redo the Fieros that you saw in a different video, the last video. I'm gonna be redoing that again, and then show you a little more. Let me hop up in here quick. Grab the steering wheel. I think you put it up here. That's close the door. All right. So inside the car, I already told you about the doors. This is the original color of the outside paint. Let's see if I can get the camera to. So it's shiny gray, dark gray. I already did the outside of the car. I did not spray the inside of the car, but there's still a ton of metal flake in the stock paint here. Here is the gauge cluster, pretty simple. Speedometer or tachometer, speedometer. It has 100. It says 120. It had about 116 before I stuck the tires on. The tires actually make it go up faster because when I'm going, when this says I'm going 45, I'm actually going 60, which is pretty crazy difference. But these are fun. I stuck blue lights in, which are a bit dim. I need to figure those out. The LEDs don't light up super bright. I might have to just order some new ones. I sprayed the bottom of the dash here with a bed liner. This is the CB mount. It was already in here, but there is no CB, so I actually had a cord that used to go out to the back on the tire rack that had a little spring on it that would hold the antenna. And at one point I had a 7-foot antenna, so I might go back to that. That was kind of fun. It made it look kind of Baja-y. I tucked it under the roof rack there. But that's another thing to do to it. This is my bass. Lowers and uppers my bass, but it's plugged in wrong. I wired the speakers and the subwoofers backwards. Don't ask me how. I really don't know. Bronco 2s have this little unique box here. People always make a comment about those when they see it. They go, oh yeah, this is the truck with the little glove box that doesn't go anywhere. So it's just this open area. Down here we have glove box full of all the important stuff. Insurance cards, registration, all that junk. This carpet, I actually got carpet from Menards. We cut it to the size of the old carpet. We stuck slits in it. We stuck it in. We kind of nudged it in here, but we never really got finished with tucking it. So I'll get that tucked in. Probably recoat this. The back seat, there's not much back here. My camera and a bunch of junk, but there's some 6x9s back there. Those are the ones I've switched around with the base and whatever. I added this in, so I had to this mirror, so I actually added wiring to so I could turn on the inside lights here. There's two lights underneath that shine down at night. But yeah, that's It's a pretty simple interior. Not much in here, but it's definitely a fun truck. Alright guys, I just want to get this last shot for reference sake of how tall the Bronco actually is. I am 5'11" and a half, so I'm almost 6 feet. Damn. Alright guys, that's been the Bronco 2. Like, comment, subscribe, and always remember to get your vitamins. See you next time. Peace out.